starting our back attack series. So as far as, hey, we get to the back, how are we going to attack? What are some of our ways to go? Different transitions in and out. This week we're just going to start with the basics of the backpack drill, some finer details on the rear naked choke, a couple variations. Okay. So we're here. First thing we're going to cover is just the basics of the backpack drill that we run. So backpack drill is both hooks in, one hand's over, one hand's under. Now, the most important detail of this entire drill is the hand that is over his back goes flat on his chest. This will become a very important detail when we actually start working the choke. Alright? Now, once we're here, I like to grab my wrist. Some guys will grab gi. I like to grab the wrist just because that's gi and no gi. Alright? Now, once we're here, the backpack drill is very basic. He gets to practice a backpack escape. I get to practice retake. That's why we do this drill so much. We get to the back series. And it'll literally be what we do as a warm-up every week. So get used to this drill, take it slow, figure it out. You'll have time to speed it up as we move through this series. We're going to be in this for the next 4 to 6 weeks, give or take. So we're here. Mr. Hackett is going to post this hand in the mat and get us over to this side here. He's then going to step his leg over my foot, walk his hips out. Now as he does that, I'm going to walk back, get to my knees, walk him back up. Retake the back. He falls to this side now. Does it again. I walk my hips back, walk him back up, retake the back. He falls to this side. And you do that to infinity. Here's why we do this drill. Because it emphasizes the fact that if I get this hand locked, the back is now mine until I decide to be done taking his back. Don't worry about the hooks. You'll find time to get those in. Get this, then work on getting your hooks in. The other thing that works for this guy is don't panic when someone takes your back. Fall to the side, protect your chin, work your way out. Here, I'll walk him up. Here. Now I generally will step on the side that I have the arm underneath. Hook, hook. Fall to this side, he walks himself out. Same thing. I'm going to walk my hips flat, come up behind him. Now I like to keep my head next to his head because it keeps my back attached to his chest. If I get way tall here, he'll fall out from underneath. Now, there will be opportunities from there, but I want to keep the back as much as possible. So I keep my head tight, sit, take it back. Questions? Questions on this? We'll walk through it again. This is just a simple movement drill. How this will look. I'm here. I have the backpack on one side. You escape 4 times. Switch your hands. Make sure you're drilling this both sides. Alright? Same thing happens. He falls to the side, he walks out. I walk my hips back, walk my hips in. Keeping. I want my Superman logo on his backpack, right? So if I'm Superman, my chest, my S is right here. I'm keeping that attached to his back as much as physically possible. Not way up on his belt butt, not way down low on his belt, right in the middle of his back. Here, retake. Boom. Questions on this? Grab a partner, 4 escapes, switch hands, 4 escapes, switch. Do not rush this. I'm going to give you guys plenty of time to get this right. Remember, I can always yell to do it faster and harder. I cannot yell at you to do it better in the middle of a match or fight. Get the technique right first, we'll add speed and power later. 1, the back attack, right? So I've gotten here by a variety of options. A couple things we're going to go over that are going to be important details. All of you have watched the UFC or MMA or jiu-jitsu matches and have the basic understanding of rear naked choke. The difference in between a really good rear naked choke and a really bad one is about an inch worth of details. There's not a lot of up, but if you do them wrong, nothing works. So when I'm here, a couple things to be watching. One, I don't want my arm to where my elbow's on his shoulder. A lot of us get real lazy with this back attack, and we don't really dig this hand here. We kind of just leave it here, kind of a loose grip. So when I get here, I want this arm as tight to his, as dug in deep as I can. Because I want my elbow eventually to end up under his chin. Okay? So when I'm here, I'm coming all the way across. Another big detail, do not cross your fucking feet. If I cross my feet like this, Mr. Hackett can put me in matching walking boots in about 2 seconds flat. If you've never seen it, I'll send you the video. Happened to a guy at Black Belt Worlds. If you're like, oh, it wouldn't happen to me, you're not that good. It would happen to you. Alright? So, when I'm here, I don't cross my ankles. I dig my heels in to control it. So now I have a good tight back. Now, generally, what you're going to be doing is hand fighting here. Because Mr. Hackett is not just going to be like, hey, I'll pop my chin up for you. But you're going to be hand fighting here. One of the easiest ways I like to fake people out is start opening this collar. Because it makes people want to hide. And all I'm going to do, my thumb is going to go right below his beard line here. I'm going to dig down and up. So I'm here, we're hand fighting, things are going well. See how this hand starts right by his ear? It's going to dig down and up. And the initial thing I'm always trying to do here is my underneath hand is going to hand fight here. I always like to try to trap that wrist down as possible. If I'm in here and we're hand fighting, things are going, it's going to be really hard if this hand's defending well to get this hand underneath. I will always hand fight and then fight in here. Now as I'm here, I'm going to dig this hand as deep as my arms will allow it. And I'm trying to cut my hand right on the top of Mr. Hackett's shoulder here. Now I'm going to do this a little bit looser so I don't choke the fuck out of Mr. Hackett while I'm trying to walk my way through this, alright? So I am going to loosen this just a bit, scoop him away from me. Realize you want to stay as tight as possible. Now, when I'm here, my hand that is hand fought, defended myself here. I have to get this out, and if you're in the gi, there's a lot of friction and a lot of things in your way here. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach for our gun, and then I'm going to hide my hand behind his back. A lot of people will reach out and do all this weird shit. Do not put your arm out here. I have armbar people from here. There's it's called stupid armbar. You can hit it. Pat does it to everyone. So when I'm here, I'm going to sneak this up his back, putting my hand right into the cave of my bicep. Now, without Mr. Hackett, because I want to talk, when I'm here, there's a couple of different schools of thought. You can go blade behind or palm to head. I prefer palm to head. A couple reasons why. I think that you just end up pressing away too much with this for this hand to be efficient. Where I feel like I can really crunch in here and force his head down. Try it out. Some of you may like just putting blade behind the hand better. Some of you may like going palm to the bald spot. That's a technical decision that you can make. One's not better than the other. It's going to be a little bit more of what you like and what works better for you.
The palm is the big like thing they say that you get the hand back, like go up, reach out and grab the hand.
So,
And if you have it blade back.
So if you have your hand way up here, yes. What I'm talking about is putting it back here. Literally, I'm trying to put it on the cap of his head.
Okay.
I'm not trying to put it way up here, because then it would be. But I'm going back
Okay.
or here. That's a preferential. I choke the shit out of it. So, when I'm here, now I'm going to do this slowly. Once you get this hand here, I am squeezing, big breath in, and hold. Now, we've talked about the anatomy of a choke before, but we're going to review. Blood, air, blood. A good choke hits 2, a great choke hits 3. If you do this right, your bicep should have one side, crook of the elbow should have the other, blade of the forearm should have the third piece. This is all reinforcement. I can finish this choke one-handed if I'm strong enough and he sucks. Someone good, you're gonna have to put that second hand. All right. Once I get here, one thing not to do. How many of you have competed before? And you grabbed a hold of something in that first match, and you squeezed and you squeezed and you squeezed, and your fucking arms were shut, right? Realize, guys, when I choke someone, slow and steady should win that race. If I get here, Hackett's pretty tough. If I'm like, and he's fighting his chin down, he's adjusting, he's hand fighting. Even if I have this in, he may be able to kind of grit his teeth and get through this for 10, 15 seconds. Well, guess what? If I'm throwing some heavy-ass squeeze on, maybe all you have. But if I'm here, Hackett's hand fighting, doing his bit, and I'm just slow and steady. Don't run out of air eventually, right? So I don't want to have that big crazy squeeze. You want to slow and steady tighten this up as you go. Because here's the other part. If Hackett tucks his chin here, and I lock over the top and I don't catch it, but I go to squeeze real hard and then I realize, oh shit, his chin's stuck. Now I have to just re-hand fight, do all these different things. I wasted all that squeeze on a choke that was never going to work. But you want to make sure you go slow and steady so you don't burn yourself out on something that may or may not be. Does that make sense? So, we're here. This hand is dug deep as we can get it. I almost want my armpit on the top of his shoulder. That's how tight I like to be here. I'm pulling here. Now you start hand fighting. And I like to kind of dig with the blade of my forearm and my thumb here. So as I'm here, I'm digging, and I'm in. As soon as I cap here, I reach for my gun, sneak my hand up, slow, steady squeeze. Questions on that? Questions, comments, concerns?
When is it okay to go palm to palm?
We'll cover that next. Because that is the rear naked choke I prefer, but that's a risk thing to me. This is technically a stronger choke. 4 points of contact, more reinforced. We'll go over, it's called Captain America grip. Next, focus on the traditional true two-handed rear naked choke, and we'll go over that. Any other questions?
That's double ankle lock, legal for white belt.
It's considered a straight ankle. So 90% of tournaments allow it at the white belt level.
Pro
So
Fire just got hit in it by 2 weeks, like
yeah,
a week ago.
literally, and people don't think about it and they think they're safe. I've seen it at the black belt world's level. Don't cross your feet. I watched an old dude get 1 foot shattered and was screaming by the time the ref got to this time. Okay? So from the side, we're here. We get in, we start hand fighting, doing all these fun things. I dig this up. Reach, sneak, here, slow, steady squeeze, driving my chest in, almost like you're pulling, like a low pull, here. Inflate that chest, reinforces everything, forces them into that choke. Questions on that? 1, 2. I got Mr. Hackett's back. I'm gonna hand fight in. Things are going well. I start to get this choke, and one of a couple things is gonna happen. One, I can't get all the way as deep as I would like, right? I can't get his chin into my elbow. My hand's a little bit shallower, right? Like I can't get right to where I need to be. He's gonna be hand fighting, doing everything in God's green earth to try to defend. And if I try to reach out here, see how my hand has to come in front of him? I don't like that. Especially, now, this hand can get to the back of the shoulder, I can hide it a lot better. But if not, we're gonna go to what I always refer to it as the Captain America grip. You'll hear it referred to as a bunch of different things. Palm to palm, elbows up, and I'm driving my elbow behind his back. Now, a couple reasons I like this choke better. I think it hides your hands better. If you're doing MMA, it's a little, the glove interference is a lot less. And if you're short armed, because I'm not exceedingly long for my my size. It's nice if you have someone who's a little bit bigger or barrel chested. Alright? So when I get here, I want this thumb as close to his ear as possible. I'm going to go palm to palm. Now, when I'm here, I'm driving my palm up while I drive my elbow forward. As I do that, I'm breathing in and squeezing. If I have the body lock, great. But I will never force body lock. If I fall into it, great. But I don't pump body lock because it slows down your transition. Because once you get body lock, you're there for the foreseeable future, basically. Because exiting a body lock is super hard. Even for someone, for someone like Clay, much bigger than him. Exiting a body lock on him is still not easy. That's why if you see in a fight or anywhere where I get that, I'm just going to stay there until the round ends, until the match is over. Whatever happens, stay there. So I don't pump. I don't have, my hips are still spread on. I don't have to. Now, if I want to, I can do one side or the other, but I'm going to keep square here with my chest attached to his back as much as possible. Because what happens is here, I get to my backpack drill, right? We start hand fight, and I start surging here, right? I dig up, I dig under, and I just can't. He fights at the elbow, he does all these things where I can't get my hand as deep as I'd like it. Here, here. Now once I'm here, I'm squeezing in, driving forward. So without Mr. Hackett. So we hand fight, we do all that. I'm pinching in while I'm driving that elbow forward. As I'm doing that, big deep breath, say it with your chest. Drive that chest in, pull those shoulder blades back. Slow, steady squeeze. If you squeeze for that 5-ish to 7-second mark, how many of you guys have felt when a choke really lands in and you feel that kind of panic set in? If you don't feel that, or you don't feel them start to squirm and really have to try to descend, realize you probably need to adjust something. Because realize, if I'm here with James, and we get here, right? I get to here, and I start to squeeze. I have to adjust this. Nothing's happening. So once I get here, I can adjust. I can do all that. If you squeeze for more than 5-7 seconds and they're not tapping, they're either going to sleep or it's not in. You got to kind of determine which of that is happening. Okay. Stand up, yell at the coach, do fun things like that. Okay. So I'm here. I dig that choke in. Skate my hand, palm to palm. Remember, I want this thumb as close to the ear as possible. Here. Because now that puts all the blade of my wrist into that carotid artery. Hopefully I'm getting the other carotid artery with the other side of my arm. And you're hoping something's in the way of the windpipe. This is going to be a 2 of 3 versus 3 of 3. Right? So this choke, ideal world, we all don't live in. This one, a little bit more realistic. And I can cinch this in, boom, once I'm here. Big deep breath, squeeze. Questions on this? This is my preferred grip, even if I do get my hand super deep. So even if I am deep here, I will still finish. I don't traditionally go to this. The only time I'll go to that is in specifically just no gi. Not even MMA. MMA, I don't like having all the glove interaction of it. In the gi and in MMA, I will go here. Alright? Questions on that? 1, 2. Alright, practice. We get to the next one. If you're uncivilized, you get to keep practicing those 2 rear naked choke outs. So, I'm here. And we're fighting and things are happening, but for whatever reason, I can't seem to get my hand all the way underneath this chin. Right? So I'm trying, and it's just not happening. But guess what's right here and available for me? That gi. Right? So all we're going to do grab a good 4-finger grip. And I'm going to pull that collar down first. That's going to be the big detail we fuck up today. A lot of you guys are going to try to pull it straight across the face. Pull it down first. And around. Down and around. Because otherwise, all you're going to do, he's going to tuck his chin. You're going to be like, oh yeah, why doesn't this work? Now watch. He's still got his chin tucked, right? Down and around. Fix his chin up. That's why you do it. So, I'm in here, I'm hand fighting, things are happening. Down and around. Now, instead of escaping this hand, all we're going to do, on top, here, pull. So, I'm here, down and around, here. I'm going to force his head down, pull start my mower, and fall backwards. Loop choke variation, but you'll hear it called a Windshield Power. So, the big details that we are going to fuck up today, and I'm going to get really mad when y'all do it. Down, down, down. Then around. Not emphasize that motion enough.
Pull down, then go around.
Yeah, do something to get that right. And the other reason that you do that down motion is it can relieve a lot of the pressure off your wrist. So if I'm here and I don't pull around first, my wrist isn't in the proper position to hit this choke. But if I pull down and around, now I can even straighten my fist here. Here. And kind of keep knuckles forward on this here. Make it tight. Swear it's all thing. Pull it down first. Okay? Questions on this choke?
Grab it too high or too low.
So, too high generally is not going to be an issue, because let's say I really, I'm in here, I'm hand fighting, and I really pull this, it's going to make it tighter. There is going to be a level of diminishing returns once you get low, to where you can finish, but it's not there. My general rule of thumb is as long as you're just above that chin line, you're okay. I'm generally going to be reaching for that same collarbone grip that we reach for most of the time. So I don't want to be, reaching for his t-shirt tag, but I also don't want to be grabbing his belt button. I want to be right about where that collarbone is. So my thumb right now is grinding very gently into James' collarbone. There, and around. Alright? Questions on this? Anything? So we're here, we're hand fighting, things are happening. I'll even open this collar sometimes for myself. As I'm here, this hand I'll bear in and come around. Right to the back of the neck. Sit, and I'm actually flying this elbow out to lift that shoulder. So I'm not just here and kind of just holding it. I'm opening and driving that head down. Questions on this? Like I said, if you're uncivilized, still practice that RNC, but if not, hit that loopy loop. 1, 2, 3.